I will return shortly. Please.
I have been known to broadcast my voice.
Good evening. Welcome to the Beauty Parlor Lounge, where we combine cutting hair and trimming neurosis. Yes, tonight we have many guests with us, 3 very special doctors who will tell us their theories in the science.
For long? Is this your job? Or are you like moonlighting on the side? Are you like a bartender?
I'm going to have a silicone.
I was a bartender for about 3-4 years.
Do you know what that is? Well, you know, I haven't had tits all my life. It's really significant. You know, these women out in New Jersey started drinking this radioactive
but I think
water.
they put too much ammonia on my
their
hair.
tits were like growing like crazy.
It's ammonia. I can smell it. It's different. It's got something in it.
And, oh, God, I mean, I'm going to be 36 triple D before I know it. Yeah, you know, what's a little contamination? You know. Well, hey, wait.
What do you want from me?
Well, I have to go to New Jersey.
What?
New Jersey.
I want a little of it. Right here. Right here.
So,
I want the towel.
they give an injection, you know, and like your tits start growing right away. Really fast. And big. No, really, you're kidding. It's almost uncontrollable. I mean, wait a minute, you pop these days?
Oh.
Oh, they're nerfins. Yeah, when the pressure is too bad, they say, you know, they can burst. But I don't know, it's worth it, you know.
Because I'm into real people as a film producer. You're a real person. You do a real job, and if I may have your name one day, I may put you in a video or a film. Do you like music videos?
Trust me.
Because
I trust you. I want to see the still right.
you can play a waitress.
You know, it's a little smaller. I think
You're shrinking my head. You've been cutting off too much.
I went to.
I mean, if you cut any more, that reminds me of like when I was on the set today.
Doctors, doesn't it
It's
seem
not far
like
enough out. You
bring
really
the
got to get it.
bring out the self-absorption of people? It's a general narcissistic syndrome.
Oh yes, I think the environment altogether is extremely narcissistic. Anyone who goes to a beauty parlor is altogether interested in themselves and they want to talk about themselves. I think it's a kind of mirror-esque setting, and that's why they think they have these problems, but actually they're quite normal.
All they need is a little hair job.
Yes, maybe the girl could use a little dye job on her hair, maybe a couple of more spit curls around the side, but altogether, no problems.
Mm-hmm. A little tone down and nightlife.
Yes, I think not so much nightlife. And this preoccupation with radioactivity I find to be a common problem in the young people of today. Every generation wants to have a problem. In World War II, they had the problem right there all ready for them, and this generation they're looking for something to get excited about, and now it's radioactivity. I don't think it's that much joy about it.
What do you think about her concerns of her breasts?
Oh, I don't care. I think she's really stupid.
Mick Jagger is in Brazil shooting a 45-minute video to go.
I've seen her give me a look a few times.
You have to do weird things at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like fish out of water.
Yeah.
You do the pads.
Like a tuna out of chicken of the spoon.
Like a tuna packed in oil. I do that in the morning, packed in water. I think she's light chug.
That's the end.
Now the next person.
Let's scam on a beauty. Let's scam on a beauty. That's the end.
Now the next person.
Let's scam on a beauty.
Is it the count to God?
The next person.
Let's scam on a beauty.
I'm so excited about this party. Yeah. I'm so excited about this party. I'm so excited about this party. Yeah. I'm so excited about this party. It's gonna be so much fun. You look great. So do you. So do you. Are you ready to go to the party, Amy? I'm ready. You feel good? Fair, but I'm ready. Okay.
That's it. Forget it. Forget it. That is it. That's it. That's it. Forget it. Forget it. That is it. That's it. He's flip fashion. She's Aldighieri. He's flip fashion. I think she's cowboys and poodles. And they're definitely super thrift. There goes Growl. Growl.
Dana's Dayglow.
Dana does Dayglow.
The world is Dayglow.
The world is Dayglow. Debbie's feet are Dayglow.
Melrose is Dayglow.
Melrose is Dayglow. Look at that pink metro.
Life is now complete.
I really like it. It's electric. It's electric. Look at that hair.
Look at that. Look at those clothes.
Those shoes. Look at that, Tina. Her hair is a different color every day.
He's here. There are some cool people here. Like, look at that. He's really cute.
Oh, he is cute.
He's a yum. Definite yum.
Yeah, he's yummy.
He is.
He is.
Let's go stand near him.
Okay, let's go stand near.
Debbie, gleam at him. Debbie, gleam at him. Gleam at him. Gleam at him.
Oh no.
They're breaking. Debbie, they're starting to break. I'm leaving.
No. Don't let me stand here.
Forget it. Don't watch. Don't watch.
Can't watch. Let's just dance over
If
here.
we don't watch, then they might stop. Like, if everybody thought the way we did and didn't watch. Look at them. They're watching. They're such
They're
geeks.
so stupid. Don't they know that this fad is over?
That's it. Forget it. Forget it. That is it.
That's it.
That's it. Forget it. Forget it. That is it.
That's it.
That's it. Forget it. Forget it. That is it.
That's it.
That's it. Forget it. Forget it. Once I'm through raising Romy and Amadine, I think I'll go.
Judith thought, you've never really known beauty if you haven't seen Venice shrouded in mist. When they opened their windows that morning, they'd been confronted by a thick, rolling fog, heavily scented with salt. Gregory had been instantly excited by its photographic possibilities. After a brief breakfast in a cafe, they went out in a small powerboat. The giant swells left by tankers and big cruise ships occasionally threw Judith into Gregory's strong arms in an embrace that was always too short. They photographed the large, sugary pink and white facades of Renaissance palazzos propped above the water on rotting pylons. They scoured the feeder canals and found small stone houses topped with roof gardens, so like an old maid in a severe gray flannel suit sporting an extravagant spring hat.
Judith helped Gregory with his photographs, carrying equipment, setting up tripods, and handing him lenses and light meters, like a surgical nurse assisting a doctor at an operation. Just before they paused for the afternoon break, Judith took a deep breath and thought about her relationship with Gregory. Why did she always feel like she was two people, or was it three when she was with him? A worker, a poet, and a woman longing to be touched.
They broke for coffee about 4 o'clock. Sitting in one of the cafes in the Piazza San Marco, drinking espresso and nibbling on sandwiches, they felt so comfortable there was no need for conversation. A sense of ease descended on them like they were old friends, or husband and wife, thought Judith. Later, bucking the crowds newly released from the torpor of the afternoon siesta, they left the square. Judith's feeling of delicious languor evaporated as she and Gregory resumed their work roles for some last photographs of the day.
It was dark by the time they had finished and returned to their hotel. Judith was bending over, straightening some of the cases, and her braid had come undone, and she had smudges on her face when she heard the deep rumble of Gregory's voice saying, "Work went well today, didn't it? Let's celebrate. Put on a pretty dress, and we'll have dinner and maybe go dancing." The heroine is almost always a virgin. Her reaction to the amorous advances of the hero mirror the conflict between her desire for him and her strong belief in romantic love.
Eleanor of Aquitaine invented romantic love to tame the unruly, slovenly brutes who were the knights of her husband's court.
How else could, say, 4 or 6 women keep 600 men happy if there wasn't some system of love other than physical?
She went up to her room and took a long bath in water scented with heliotrope. Freed from its braid, her hair resumed its normal soft reddish-brown curls. What dress to wear, she thought. When she had assembled her clothes in New York, she knew it was to be primarily a business trip. But she had packed one dress. It was red, with shoestring straps, and it set off her figure to perfection. Her nipples tingled as she dropped it over her head and smoothed in soft folds over her body.
Gregory watched Judith, clad in the flame-red dress, descend the grand staircase. He hardly recognized her. She looked like a different woman.
She searched the lobby and saw Gregory standing by a palm tree. If it was possible, he looked even more handsome than ever.
A romance is a celebration of the 5 senses: taste, touch, sight, sound, and smell. For example, taste, of her salty tears, exotic fruits and liqueurs. Touch, the silkiness of her skin or the hero's caress. Sight, white sails at sunset. Sound, romantic music during dinner for 2. Smell, the masculine scent of his citrus aftershave, smoke from burning leaves, woods after a spring rain.
He offered his arm and they set off together for the restaurant Gregory had discovered on an earlier visit to Venice. They had a superb dinner, and Gregory surprised Judith with his fluent Italian and the way he won the respect of the waiter with his selections from the wine list. They were two ordinary people that night, or maybe a little more.
Sex scenes must be skillfully handled so as not to become pornographic, and thereby offend the reader. There should be longing looks, tender touches, and hugs and kisses scattered throughout the body of the work. As they left the restaurant, their hands met somehow. The simple touch was like an electric charge. As they walked hand in hand along the Grand Canal, the gondolier's songs and the multicolored shimmering lights on the dark serpentine took on an almost supernatural intensity. Soon they were in an intimate restaurant, dancing to the sound of a small band. A moonbeam caught them like a spotlight, bathing them in silvery light, fusing their bodies together. As they danced to the music, they moved together like one flesh. She couldn't tell where his body stopped and hers began.
It was a hot summer day, and I had gone under a big tree to get out of the sun. I saw two snails. One was at the top of the tree, and the other was at the bottom. They slowly moved towards each other. Eventually, their shells met. Their rubbery bodies seemed to flow together. It was sort of like watching Jell-O melting.
I couldn't tell what had happened to their bodies.
I couldn't tell what had happened to their bodies.
They had completely vanished into one molten substance, with these hard, brilliant shells seeming to float on top. I watched them for a long time. Maybe 45 minutes.
Eventually, they disentangled themselves, and one proceeded up the tree, and the other went down.
Endearments should build up to and reinforce the major love scenes, which are essential to every romance. Kisses should be graphically and sensuously, but not harshly described. Descriptions of gentle fondling above the waist are acceptable. Shoulders, neck, breasts, arms, and hair, eyes, ears, etc.
In general, nudity above the waist is fine. Below the waist, things become trickier. Veiled references to our heroines' hidden or secret places are okay. Our hero's hard male strength gets by the stern censor. Nudity is permissible depending upon context, but it should not be too graphic. Of course, references to pain or blood are out. The only pain permitted is the sweet pain of fulfilled or unfulfilled desire.
Descriptions of lovemaking should be sensuous with some details. They cannot be limited to, he kissed her passionately. However, there are limits to what and how it can be described.
The lover should be brought to the point of consummation and then forced to retreat, either because of an interruption or because one or both lovers suffer from doubt or shame.
She never knew who said, "Let's go home." Before she knew it, they were in her room at the hotel. Gregory kissed her bare shoulders, slowly running his fingers over her soft flesh, pushing the straps of her red dress over her shoulders, revealing her breasts. She felt dizzy. Her knees were like jelly. She could hardly stand, and she leaned against him for support. Gregory picked her up in his arms and carried her to the bed. His lips sought hers while his hands sent shudders through her body. Her mouth drunk his skin. He kept kissing her. She moaned in pleasure and rolled closer to him. They moved closer. They were like swimmers sinking deeper in some fluid environment. Their bodies merged. Judith found herself crying out.
Oh, please.
They rocked together with an earthquake neither suspected was within them. There were tears on Judith's face. Gregory kissed them softly. Ravishment. The supposedly initial episode, though it may be reconstructed after the fact, during which the amorous subject is ravished, captured and enchanted by the image of the loved object. The popular name is love at first sight, the scholarly name, enamoration.
Language has long seen the equivalence of love and war. In both cases, it's a matter of conquering, ravishing, capturing.
With woman as victim, it seems as if there was a meeting of like desires in this story. Who can say who is the victim and who the ravisher?
If you kiss the back of my neck, touch my hip, making my body melt, or soar like a parachutist in free fall, aren't I the captive of your power?
Love me.
You make it too simple, too one-sided. I am equally under your spell, while my touch inflames you. You are making me drunk against my will.
Touch me.
When she woke up the next morning, her face still burned with his kisses. She turned to where she thought he lay sleeping, hoping to wrap her arms around him and draw their bodies together again. Her arms encountered emptiness. She was devastated. She felt abandoned. She vowed never to let him get close to her again.
Why did he leave her to wake alone? If she kissed his shadow while he slept, murmuring, "I love you," why wouldn't his total absence be a vindication of her worst fears? She dressed and went downstairs to meet Gregory at their usual cafe for breakfast. They were to photograph the medieval church on the island of Torcella today. She forced a smile on her face, determined not to let him see her distress. Gregory was reading a book. "Good morning," she said.
Gregory looked at Judith. He longed to cradle her in his arms, and his heart stirred with dangerous emotions. Neither his face or his demeanor betrayed the turmoil he was feeling.
Touch me. Love me.
No.
Turn your back to the water. Turn your back to the water.
Where have all the good men gone, and where are all the guns? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising guns? Isn't there a white knight upon a fiery steed?
And I'd love to show them to you, but it's a little chilly in here, you know, it's a little cold. But I promise you.
Where the hell's Montoya? Nice they be put in for days after that wing day.
Oh, yes, I get it, sir. Yes, sir.
Stop calling me sir. You sound like... Forget patterns, Frank, period. And get the hell off my desk, will you? Get off.
Mark! Ow!
Oh, let the good times roll.
No!
Wet with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft.
What?
So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. Whipped. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick. Whipped with moisturizer to help keep my lips very soft. So whipped up, I call them moisture whip. My lipstick.
On a recent visit to New York, our First Lady managed to elude the watchful eye of her Secret Service escort for a few hours and found herself on the Lexington Avenue Local. Oh, how fun. This is certainly more picturesque than Air Force One. I just can't wait to tell Daddy about this. It's like Disneyland. Kind of reminds me of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. What a town. I love New York. Noticing the map on the wall, Nancy decided to plot her route. Oh, this can't be true. This train actually stops at Bloomingdale's? Fabulous! I really should spend more time here. Taking a seat next to a man with a newspaper, Nancy peeked over his shoulder for a glimpse of the headlines. Now, isn't that adorable? Tot found clean in bathtub. As he opened the newspaper, Nancy spotted a story about herself. Well, would you look at that? How sweet of them to write about my donation. I just love this ride. Gee, I wonder if this train goes to Greenwich Village. I could drop in on Ron Jr. and Doria. Then suddenly... Oh, my God, a chain snatcher. Nancy could hardly believe it, and no Secret Service around. What could she do? Think quickly, Nancy. Then suddenly she remembered something. She searched her handbag. I know it's here somewhere. What a lucky break. She remembered to pack it. Her Bloomingdale's credit card. Then, flashing it like a cross to a vampire, Nancy defiantly yelled at her attacker, "Hands off, buddy. This is my stop." She made a dash for the door as the train pulled into the 59th Street station, but turned back for a final word. You know, a woman is like a tea bag. You don't know her strength until she's in hot water. Have a nice day now. Bye.
Captain Skippy, we have received Life Ob 11. I now want a full report on the indigenous mammalians. Inscribe on your telepad by 0900.
Bring me the recordance tools. Lifespan observation 12. We have a new infiltration. Their bodies signaled distress at our first contact. This set the pattern of our communication. It seems the inhabitants experience bio-survival disturbance of the second tier during frequent visits to their brain charging center. These seem to be essential to their life force.
Oh, these permanent waves take forever.
A little off the brain, please.
How's that, honey? Oh, it feels great.
wiener. A Frank? Precisely. Great.
Could you remove my facial features? Thank you.
I don't want to live with my mother or my father. I had to do it for the good of the country. I wish I were pregnant instead of you. The deceased had a 1-year-old grandchild. I want to have my baby so someone will love me. But Mom, when can I get my Cabbage Patch doll. She's only successful because she's a woman and her father was a famous artist.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States. Mr. President of the United States.
Man, don't ask me for help. I'm trying to get a plate of that dollar chicken, too. Give me your phone number, and after the baby arrives, we can get together with our kids.
I am happy to give my life for the president.
If I wait much longer, it will be too late for a change.
Just suppose with me for a moment that an Ivan and an Anya could find themselves, say, in a waiting room or sharing a shelter from the rain or a storm with a Jim and Sally. And there was no language barrier to keep them from getting acquainted. Would they then debate the differences between their respective governments? Or would they find themselves comparing notes about their children?
You just take anything that you're told at such a time, and all right, yes, they were born, thank goodness they're healthy. Does anyone mind, you know, if they're healthy and wonderful? You're very, 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 very lucky.
Would probably have touched on ambitions and hobbies and what they wanted for their children and problems of making ends meet. And as they went their separate ways, maybe Anya would be saying to Ivan, wasn't she nice? She also teaches music.
I love music. I love music. Music. Love music. And I love just pottering round the house.
And I'm so pleased and proud and the best of the future.
They might even have decided they were all going to get together for dinner some evening soon. Above all, they would have proven that people don't make wars.
Someone to whom you can let your hair down. It's always late at night, and we just sit down and exchange experiences. And he has his own career, his own life, and he's pretty forthright on many things, and a very good thing too. So he goes out and does his own thing. Marvelous, marvelous.
I can't have a tear, but I don't care. I'll never forget him, the leader of the pack.
Dear Apollo, finally I found the words. I'm seeding at the mouth with seeds of thought. Me, Cassandra, high priestess of the telephone wires. Of night, the day your friend Ajax raped me with a so-called cleanliness next to godliness. So when you tried to rape me, you can bet your golden ass I fought back. The moon's not yours, Apollo. So when you tried to rape me, you can bet your golden ass I fought back. The moon's not yours, Apollo. melting amor. Breathe between the lines, within words. Eat those words within words. Cut the Adam's apple open. See the sea. The unbalanced nuclear fallacy of the armored palace. The invulnerable palace. Fallacy that's made love a dirty word. And dirt dirty. What is this crap-out shit? Poo-poo, doo-doo, caca, booty, number 2, stool, turd, man, shit, cow, excrement. Holy shit. Hello, hello, hello. Answer me. Answer the bloody phone. Come down to earth. Remember.
Welcome to Private Moments with Public Figures. I'm Maurice Leach, here at the White House. Come with me now to Studio C, formerly the White House bowling lanes, for an exclusive interview with the sweetheart of the Republican Party on the set of her first television special, Nancy with an N.
Good evening, America. Hello, Maurice.
Your Majesty.
Oh, call me Nancy, please.
Aren't you just a little bit nervous?
Oh, not a bit. You know, I just try to be myself, no matter what happens. As Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. Reagan Red. Don't you just love it? Ouch!
You must suffer to be beautiful, madame.
And you have such an eye for beauty.
Please, stand by.
Nancy, what's the best thing about being Mrs. President?
Why, Mr. President, of course. You know, he's even more fun than ever, now that we've returned to our first love, showbiz. We have just finished a fabulous feature film called The Way We Still Are.
Could we sneak a peek?
Oh, all right.
Now, what's happening in this clip?
Well, here we see Daddy reducing international tensions. Oh, and here he is making the whole world buy American. And in this one, he's just plain old being presidential.
What a performer. And who do you play, Your Majesty?
Well, I play the little woman who inspires Daddy to civilize America. You know, Daddy's really thrown himself into this part. He'd be here right now, only he's busy studying his lines.
Surprise! We have a satellite hookup with the Oval Office. Let's look in on the President right now.
How exciting!
Sir, I'd like to ask you a question about your foreign policy.
Glad you asked. I'm working on it right now. Step on it, men. The evil empire is gaining on us.
Isn't he adorable? You know, everybody thought we were going to have a big brother in 1984, but instead, we've got a daddy.
1 minute, Mrs. President.
Uh-oh. Looks like they're ready for you, Your Majesty. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us.
Pas de quoi, Maurice. It's the least I could do for my country and my public. Oh, America, I love you.
You're a real trooper, Mrs. R. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a little taste of Nancy with an N.
Life is a dangerous river, full of big fish and little fish. Our boat is money and power, and our sails are getting and spending. Money and power and getting and spending. That spells a happy ending to me. Money and power and getting and spending. They make life what it ought to be. I know my place and it's in the sun. I keep a sharp lookout for Miss Number One. I'm so glad I'm one of the lucky few. And if you're not, well, too bad for you. That spells a happy ending to me. They make life what it ought to be. Some people say they have a heart of gold. I don't need a heart at all if my cash is cold. Some people want to live off the land. Keep your birds, keep your trees, gimme Krugerrands and money, power, getting and spending. This is what God gave us life for. Money and power and getting and spending. No matter how much I've got, I want more. Solid gold golf club. No matter how much I've got, I want more. A Mingland back row. No matter how much I've got, I want more and more and more and more and more and more and more. Gimme. I'm delighted. Oh, just tell him I love him.
Your outfits are so magnificent.
Oh, well, she never has the nerve to wear Reagan.
That's fantastic.
Yes, I think so too. Fantastic. Oh, he's wonderful. He's busy learning his lines. Yes. Yes, Maurice does a wonderful job.